Blue and red lights streaked the lake like melted candy canes. And right then I knew tonight was about to go off the rails. The only sounds had been water tapping against the dock and the summer choir of crickets. But when a police cruiser crawled up my gravel drive, it was like the quiet split wide open. That's him. Karen was pointing so hard I thought her elbow might snap. Officer, get this man out of our community. He's trespassing, refuses to leave after the HOA vote. It was the kind of command that could cut glass. I stood at the end of my dock, hands open, palms up, heart thumping against ribs that suddenly felt too tight. The moon hung like a silver coin above the pines, and all down Cedar Bend, porch lights clicked on pajamed neighbors peeking out like owls at a window. This lake, the kind of place where a stray bark or a frog's croak brought everyone running. Tonight, it was Karen's voice and the flash of squad lights. Officer Brooks, neat beard and even neater hat, shined his light at me like he was hoping I'd vanish if he squinted hard enough. Sir, I need you to come off the dock. Talk to me. Beside him, Karen was filming, already looking for her next headline. Another cruiser door thunked shut, and Officer Hale started toward my mailbox, her ponytail sharp as her expression. 117 Cedar Bend, she read, then glanced at my little cedar cabin fresh paint. New swing. Flag swaying slow in the muggy air. Move out, Karen barked, waving her stack of papers like a queen's decree. You heard the vote. You're breaking all the rules, boats, fences, paint, even occupancy. She flicked her gaze at Lily's bedroom, where her nightlight glowed soft and safe. And that dock, HOA property, not yours. You don't even belong on it. My old mutt Baxter pressed against my knee, tail drooping. I stroked his head. Sir, Officer Brooks called again, hand near not on his belt. Got a call about disturbance and possible trespass. Just want to sort this out. I stepped onto the gravel. My chest was pounding, but I kept my voice even. Happy to talk. But I'm not leaving my own house. Karen laughed sharp. Your house isn't your house if the HOA says you've lost your privileges. That dock community space. The boat's wrong, the mailbox too tall, the ivy invasive. We warned you. We fined you. You ignored us. Neighbors drifted closer, gathering under streetlights, arms crossed or hugging themselves in the humid dark. Faces I knew: Jenkins in his sandals, Nora in a yellow robe, Mike and Sarah peeking from their porch frogs. Officer Hale took notes. Ma'am, do you have an eviction notice? Court order? Karen snapped her stack of HOA minutes and violation photos. He knows what he did. Brooks turned to me. Got ID? In my pocket, I said, moving slow. He checked the card, the mailbox, then my house, then Karen. Let's talk up here, he said, stepping toward the drive. Karen shadowed me, eyes blazing. Don't step on that path again, she hissed. You lost the right. Officer, I bought this place in April. I pay the bills. I followed the rules. Karen cut me off, shouting about the dock, the mailbox, the second mailbox. Sneaking in occupants. Renovations a nuisance. The HOA voted him out. Officer Brooks raised a hand. Let's slow down. Sir, do you have proof this is your dock? My mouth was dry. That wordproof sounded like a dare and a threat at once. I knew what sat in the kitchen drawer. The deed, the survey map, the letter from my lawyer, and the unanswered emails to Karen. Officer, I said, every word a careful step across thin ice. I can show you the documents, but there's something you should see now. He frowned. What's that? Where we're standing, I said, the gravel, the mailbox, the strip of land everyone kept arguing about. Karen rolled her eyes. What about it? I crouched, brushed pine straw aside, and there it was. A little metal disc glinting in the beam. A survey pin, I said. Karen's knuckles whitened on her stack of paper. He planted that. Ma'am, Officer Hale warned, her voice tight. I stood up. Officer, I'll show you all the pins. But I'm not trespassing, and I haven't refused any legal eviction because none exists. I'm asking for calm before this turns into a mistake. That's when Sergeant DeMarco stepped into the lights. Big as a barn, gentle eyes, the kind of cop you want in a storm. He sized up the scene in a breath. Me, the dock, Karen with her legal arsenal, neighbors in their socks, pins shining at his feet. What have we got? HOA dispute, Brooks said. Possible trespass. Property lines muddy. DeMarco nodded. You got docs? Yes, sir. Get them. He'll go with you. No sudden moves. Karen, stay put. Tonight you do, he said when she tried to argue. Her face faltered, her neighbors shifting uneasily. I turned for my porch, Hale beside me, Baxter close. Inside, the air felt safer. Is your daughter home? Hale asked. Sleeping. 8 years old. Her name's Lily. We'll keep it calm, Hale promised. I grabbed the envelope from the drawer, the papers that were my whole case. We stepped back outside. Karen was waving at the locked gate she'd put on the Lake Pathagate. She'd smiled about the day she installed it. Padlock clicking like the final word. DeMarco read my papers by flashlight, brow furrowed. Karen demanded, what does it say? He looked at her, then at the neighbors. Says some of this might not be what you think. Karen's voice cracked. No, we voted. We have rules. But DeMarco's look was solid. Not if it breaks the law, ma'am. A ripple moved through the crowd. For a second, my chest loosened. I knew it wasn't over. Winning isn't healing, and maps don't make people kind, but maybe the storm was passing. DeMarco handed the papers back. We'll confirm with the county, he said. Keep it peaceful. Karen lifted her phone. I'm live. The community will know. Then from the Shadowsa child's voice. Mom? What's happening? Little boy in pajamas clutching a stuffed dinosaur. His mom scooped him up, whispering it was okay. The neighbors hushed. Even Karen seemed rattled. Brooks said, until we verify, stay off the dock and lake path. That's fair, I said. See? He knows he's wrong, Karen sneered. No, I said it's fair while we confirm. That's not the same thing. Her eyes narrowed. DeMarco ended it. Enough, ma'am. For a beat, crickets sang again, the world tipping back toward normal. I moved closer, my voice softer. Officer, I came here because this lake made me feel small in a good way, like it could rinse off a hard day. I want to be a good neighbor. I fix things when I can. I'll follow real rules, just not ones made up to chase me out for painting my porch old oatmeal. Mike chuckled, even DeMarco smirked. Karen, not so much. All right, DeMarco said. Everyone inside. We'll follow up. But Thena metallic snap, loud in the dark. Down by the new gate, the lock dangled, sliced open. The runner stood frozen, bolt cutters in hand. Hey! Karen shrieked. Vandal! HOA property. The runner bolted. Hale's flashlight cut through the dark, Baxter barking wildly, and I saw the runner's fascia familiar jawline. Tyler, Karen's nephew. Tyler? Karen's voice broke. What are you doing here? He was pale, eyes wide. I was just fixing it, he stammered. The lock jammed. Fixing it? DeMarco barked. You cut it clean open. Karen tried to shield him. He's just a boy. 17, Hale said. Old enough to know bolt cutters aren't tools. Neighbors whispered family privilege. Someone muttered. My stomach tightened. This wasn't about a lock. Karen was all in on the rules until it was her own. Brooks cuffed Tyler loosely, Karen screeching, You did this, you poisoned this community. No, Karen. You called the cops on me for trespassing, remember? But before anyone could argue, a crack echoed with splintering on the dock. The board under the cutters sagged. The officers lunged. Tyler nearly plunged into the lake. The crowd gasped, pulling kids close. Hale stepped in, voice steady. Ma'am, your nephew almost fell because he was tampering with a lock, not because of his repairs. Neighbors began to doubt, their faces shifting. Let's reset, DeMarco ordered. 3 issues: trespass, lock tampering, dock's condition. Karen's voice was brittle. This man doesn't belong here. I gripped my documents like a life raft. I bought this property, the deed, the survey, the dock legal. Karen just doesn't like my paint, mailbox, or Lily's wildflowers. Nora piped up. Lily's flowers are beautiful, she said. Karen spun wildflowers attract bees. A liability. Jenkins chuckled. Everything's a liability to you, Karen. Laughter rippled. DeMarco cut through it. Brooks, take Tyler to the cruiser. Hale, get statements. As neighbors gave their sides, I stroked Baxter's ear, but I could feel Ithis was about power, not rules. Power always fights back. Thunder rolled, the lake reflecting red and blue. Karen glared at me. In her look, there was a promise. This wasn't finished. Thina cried from down the lake path. Help! Someone! A young man, bleeding, stumbled into the light. Baxter barked. Neighbors froze. DeMarco snapped into action. Brooks grabbing a medkit. Hale securing the scene. The Mandaniel said someone attacked him, a big guy in a hoodie, knife out, tried to rob him. Karen seized it. See, criminals are running wild here because of him. But something was off. Daniel's shirt was torn, but the rip looked old. He groaned louder once the ambulance arrived. When DeMarco questioned him, his eyes flicked to Karen before he answered. Hale watched the body language, suspicious. Karen pressed. This is what happens when people break rules. The EMTs took Daniel. Karen tried to follow. Only family, ma'am. And that's when it hit me. I didn't know Daniel. No one did. The crowd churned with fear and doubt. Mike called out, "What do you mean, strange?" I told them Daniel's wound, his story, the way Karen signaled him. Hale saw it too. Karen exploded. "How dare you accuse me?" DeMarco raised a hand. "We'll investigate." As the ambulance pulled away, porch lights flickered, but people didn't go inside. Not yet. Then another figure in the shadows. Not Daniel. Someone broad, looming at the tree line, watching. He vanished. DeMarco barked orders. The officers swept the path. Baxter barked furiously. Panic spread, Karen whipping the neighbors up, blaming me. But this wasn't about flowers or paint anymore. DeMarco cut her off. This is a crime scene. Inside my cabin, I pulled the porch camera footage with Hale. The video showed Daniel waiting, Karen signaling him, his fake stumble. Hale whistled low. "She staged it," she said. Outside, rain slashed down, lightning turning the lake white. DeMarco watched the footage, face darkening. That changes the game. Fraud, false report, obstruction. He eyed Karen. "We'll confront her carefully. She's bold enough to escalate." A flash of lightning, another shadow at the trees, gone before the lights could catch him. Then, a roar from Route 9, a gunshot echoing across the lake. The neighbors ducked, doors slammed. Baxter lunged, adrenaline surging. DeMarco shouted, "Everyone down." Officers drew guns, rain coming sideways. Karen clung to Tyler, terror on her face. Brooks's voice crackled on the radio. "Shot from Route 9, Sarge. You good?" "We're good. Sweep the road. Lock it down." In the chaos, Karen's mask finally cracked. "If he's here," she whispered, "it means," her words lost to thunder. Tyler looked at her. "It's him, isn't it? Uncle Ray." Karen froze. DeMarco's head snapped up. "Uncle Ray?" Karen broke, tears and rain streaming. "Raymond Carter. My brother. Out of prison 6 months. Armed robbery, assault." Suddenly, everything made sense. The secrecy, the panic, the staged assault. DeMarco's voice was cold. "You've been harboring him." Karen shook her head. "I needed control back. The community was slipping. I thought if I scared them, they'd rally around me until Ray left. But he never really left." Tyler's voice broke. "Mom, you always said he hid something by the lake. That's why you run the HOA tight. No strangers. That's why you hate him." Gestured at me. "Because you don't know what we might find." The neighbors reeled, Karen's secret spilling out at last. DeMarco's radio crackled. "Black SUV, engine hot, Route 9, someone lying low. That had to be Ray." The rain pounded, thunder growled. Karen collapsed onto the porch. "You don't know him. He always comes back for something. What's he after?" I demanded. Tyler's voice barely a whisper. "The money, the stash from the robbery. He hid it near the lake." My blood went cold. This wasn't about rules or paint or wildflowers. It was about millions, buried treasure, and a criminal who would kill to get it back. Footsteps squelched through the mud. Flashlights swung. Ray emerged, soaked and huge, gun in hand, greed in his eyes. "Lower it," DeMarco ordered. "You fire again, you're not walking out." Ray laughed a harsh, broken sound. "I buried that money before you ever put cuffs on me." Now I'm here to dig it up. Karen stumbled forward, rain and tears streaking. Please, Ray. Stop. You kept my secret all these years. Ray sneered. You built your HOA kingdom to hide me. To hide the money. The tension crackled. Thunder and lightning above. Fear below. Ray's eyes found mine. You get over here. You're going to help me dig. DeMarco stepped in front. You're not touching him, Ray. The storm exploded with lightning, all of us caught in its glare. Ray's finger twitched on the trigger, and everything went sideways at once. Where are you watching from? What would you do if your neighbor's secrets dragged you into a midnight standoff? If you've ever tangled with HOA rules, buried history, or someone who thinks they own the whole block, drop your story below. Who was right? Who crossed the line? Let's hear your take on justice, community, and where the real danger lives. Don't forget to comment where you're watching from, because sometimes the wildest dramas don't happen on TV. They happen right outside your window.